So it is long overdue time to address this whole notion that the Jews in Israel are not the real Jews. I see this going around just everywhere, and it's really untrue. If you remember your Bible history, the northern kingdom of Israel was taken over by the Assyrians, scattered. The southern kingdom of Judah was also dispersed among the nations, before and after Messiah came. Both Judah and Israel is intermingled among the nations. This fulfills God's promise to Abraham that he would be the father of many nations. They have done DNA analysis on the people living all up and down the Levant to prove that they do have Hebraic ancestry, and I want to show you some of it. Now, this is information taken from ancient Halep groups. This is from known Israelite burial grounds and DNA evidence taken from those bodies and compared to modern people today. We have the Samaritans, of course, who have been in Israel for a long time. Part of the northern kingdom of Israel was taken over by Assyria and scattered. Part of it was left behind. Some of them became the tribe of Judah, or they went down and joined the southern kingdom of Judah, and some stayed there, and they became the Samaritans, the one that stayed there. As you can see, their Israelite heritage, 94%. They're very original Israelite. There are also not very many of those people left because most of them have moved away and are scattered among the nations. Check this out. Palestinian Christian, 80%. Lebanese Christian, 76%. Syrian Christian, 84%. How interesting that all the Christians are at the top of this list. Maybe because they're grafted into the Commonwealth of Israel and the Lord physically has done it. But I bet you're wondering about the Jews, right? Here they are. Sephardic, Italian, Romanian, Moroccan, Libyan, Tunisian, Ashkenazi. There's a bunch of Ashkenazi. Look at, they are Hebrew. They are Israelite. They have that heritage. It's in their DNA. You can't say that the Jews are not Jews. Look at them. They are. Here's another chart here. The smaller the number, the closer they are to ancient Israelites, okay? Check all this out. There's lots of Jews in here. Guys, there's also a lot of Muslims in here. There's a lot of Christians. The Lord promised Abraham he would be the father of many nations. This is DNA proof of it. Stop saying that the Jews in Judah, in Israel today, are not really Jews. They are. They are.
Shalom Akim. First off, I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS for giving us this truth so that we can share with the hopeful elect all around the world. Now, I wanted to use this person's video as a talking point to kind of, use the Bible to kind of disprove all the little pseudosciences and everything that they use to try to tell us that they're the actual people of the Most High. And I have some precepts here to disprove that and actually kind of prove who the actual people of the Most High are. And I wanted to start off because she used some sort of pseudoscience board or whatever, you saw it. And so I just go to 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 20, reading, O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called. So you can't even use, pseudoscience to prove anything. And what you actually would have to do is, here in the book of Romans 8 and 16, you have to judge by the Spirit. And the Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So, I mean, if anybody goes around using some sort of scientific method, it wouldn't work. You can't prove anything like that with some sort of science method. And so now I want to take you to the book of Isaiah. Let's start at chapter 2. We can start. We'll start at verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. The mountain meaning governments and, governments, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. So the heathen are actually going to come to, the kingdom and actually, search out for Yahweh's judgments and commandments and all that. And we, the children of Yahweh, is going to actually be able to, give that to them. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the Most High of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords with plowshares, and their spears with pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. And what's the first thing that you know? That land over there, they're at war right now. So if they're the people, why are they still at war? When the people get into the land, the actual heathen are going to come to learn the ways of Yahweh, and we'll be able to teach them that, because the law will be on our inward parts, and they wouldn't go to war anymore. And to back that precept up, I'll go to Micah 4. We'll start at verse 1 for the context. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, and the house of the Most High of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, Salakia. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore, Salakia. So I want to take you from there to the book of Luke, chapter 21. And we just straight to the point, 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So, I mean, if the people in the land there are there and the true people of the Most High, then the Gentiles would have already been, the time of the Gentiles, like it would have already been fulfilled, which we know that's not the case. So I'll take you to 2nd Esdras 6 and 9, because as you know, it says, For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So at the end of the world, Esau is going to be in power, and he's in the land right now today. And so we actually know that they don't even fit in the curses of Deuteronomy 28. But there's the specific curse in Deuteronomy 28 and 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither whither Yahweh shall lead thee. So the byword in this case would be so-called Negroes, so-called Native Americans, so-called Latinos, Panamanians, so on and so forth. Those are the bywords, because we are actually the children of Yasharallah, and they don't call us that. Let's see. I got another precept in 1 Kings 9 and 7. Yep. Then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them, and this house which I have hallowed for my name. And I will cast out of my sight, and Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people. And at this house which is high, every one that passeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss, and they shall say, why hath Yahweh done thus unto his land and to this house? So I mean, those people in the land there, to my knowledge, have never been called a byword other than them calling themselves, what they call themselves. Second Chronicles 7:20. Just to back that up with this precept. Then will I pluck them up by the roots out of my land which I have given them, and this house which I have sanctified for my name will I cast out of my sight, and will make it to be a proverb and a byword among all nations. Excuse me. And then I'll back that up with the Psalms 44:14. Thou makest us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. And then to actually give you the precept to show you that you'd wake up in a different land, I'll take you to Luke chapter 20 and start at verse 30. The stiff neck, we're a stiff neck nation, and verse 30 on down is gonna confirm that. And it actually saying, starting at verse 30, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am Yahweh their power. For I will give them an heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the name of their captivity, and think upon my name. See, they don't even have the correct names. They're using, all sorts of abominable names, using abominable things. If they're the actual people, first thing you got to ask yourself is, when they're in the land, where is Yahweh Shai? Where is King David? Why are they at war? But I hope this was edifying. Shalom.